So good morning everyone. Online, is my voice is audible to you all? Can you confirm me in chat box once? As well as screen. Clear for all of you? Yes. So now, before going to start, let me ask you one question. Like, what is the purpose of DevOps? Or why DevOps? Anybody has any idea? What is the purpose of DevOps? Or why DevOps? So see guys, whether it is right or wrong, you can answer. What is the purpose of DevOps or why DevOps? So now, let me tell you with simple example. So let's say, if you are trying to book a mobile, you are trying to book a mobile. So now tell me any two e-commerce applications that are available in the market. Now tell me any two e-commerce applications that are available in the market. That's great. So absolutely, it's going to be the Amazon as well as Flipkart. So let's say the mobile cost is going to be the 15,000. So the same cost of mobile, Amazon can deliver, Amazon can deliver within 3 days. So the same cost of mobile, whereas in Flipkart, it can deliver within 10 days. It can deliver within 10 days. So which one we will choose, sir? Which one we will choose? So absolutely Amazon. So now here my question was why Amazon? Why Amazon? So it's going to be the fastest delivery. It's going to be the fastest delivery. So in the similar way, if you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, DevOps is the fastest way. DevOps is the fastest way. So I am repeating again. So see, if you want to create any application in the sense app or if you want to create any software, so DevOps is the fastest way. So clear for all of you now? Why DevOps? That's great. Great. Now, so let's say if you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, so here we need to follow a life cycle called SDLC. What we need to follow here? We need to follow a life cycle called SDLC. Nothing but the software development life cycle. What was that? Software development life cycle. So we are the humans, right? We are the humans. So we are having the human life cycle. In the similar way, for the software also, there is a life cycle called SDLC. Nothing but software development life cycle. So in the software development life cycle, majorly we are having two teams. How many teams we are having here? We are having the two teams. So one was the development team. One was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. The second one was the operational team. So totally in the SDLC, how many teams I am having? I am having the two teams. So one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. Now let us discuss what they will do. So totally I am having the two teams here. One was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. So the things that are done by the development team, the things that are done by the development team. So what they will do, sir? They are going to do the first plan, code, build, as well as test. And operational team, what they will do, sir? They are going to do the deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So again, in the development team, first, what they will do, sir? They are going to do the plan, code, build, as well as test. And operational team, what they will do? They are going to do deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Now, let us discuss one by one. So, what is meant by plan, code, build, as well as test? And also, deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Let us discuss one by one. So the first one is about what? The first one is about the plan. Now, what is meant by plan? What is meant by plan? Let me tell you. So see here. Let's say, let's say, if you are trying to construct an building, if you are trying to construct an building. So ultimately, we should have the plan first, right? So how many stairs we are going to be construct? What type of materials we are going to be use, what type of materials we are going to be use, how many workers we are going to be implement, how many workers we are going to be implement. Next, what is the budget for our building? What is the budget for our building? Next, what is the timeline for our building? So you want to create your building within 1 year or within 2 years or within 3 years. So what is the timeline for our building? So this all under comes plan, right? This all are under comes plan. In the similar way, in the similar way, if you want to create any application, we should have the plan first. So the first one is about name of the application. So the first one is about name of the application. Let's say I am going to create the Paytm application. What we are going to create here? We are going to create the Paytm application. Next. So the next point is about how many services we are going to be implement. So here services are nothing but recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. How many services we are going to be implement? Next, what type of technology we are going to use? So we are having the number of languages, right? So we are having the Java, we are having the .NET, we are having the Python. On which language you want to create your application? Next, how many developers you want to implement? How many developers you want to implement? Nothing but the development team. So totally I am going to implement 5 developers. Next, what is the timeline for your application? What is the timeline for your application? So you want to create your application within 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. What is the timeline for your application? Next, what is the budget for your application? Nothing but the money. Next, what type of cloud you are going to use? What type of cloud you are going to use? So in the market, majorly we are having 3 cloud providers, right? So nothing but the AWS, Azure, as well as GCP. So this is, I mean to say, this all are under comes plan. This all are under comes plan. So clear for all of you about the plan? So just try to confirm me in chat box once. So that's great. Now, so after plan, what we are having here? We are having the code. What we are having here? We are having the code. Now, what is meant by code? Let me tell you. So see here, code is nothing but whatever the development team. So code is nothing but whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase. These developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So here, what's my requirement? Recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets, right? So see, whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So nothing but the code, guys. Now, see here, as a as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. We are not going to write any code. So it's going to be the 100% free of code. 100% free of code. Nothing but the code, guys. Whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. Nothing but the code. So after code, after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. What we are having here? We are having the build. Now, what is meant by build? What is meant by build? So build is nothing but, let's say totally developers has been written the code in the Java. What type of language they have used? They have used in the Java language. So when we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right? We can able to read it. So this is nothing but the human readable language. This is nothing but human readable language. So at the end, whatever the code we are having, we need to place those code on the server. We need to place those code on the server. So remember, server is nothing but a laptop. Server is nothing but a laptop. So mission, server, mission, laptop, all are the same. But my server will only understand the binary level language. Which language they can understand? Only the binary level language, nothing but the zeros and ones. Other than this, mission can't understand anything. So here, converting the human readable language into mission understandable language, nothing but the binary level language, or called build. Converting the human readable language into mission understandable language, are nothing but the binary level language, or called build. So after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. What we are having here? We are having the test. Now, what is meant by test? What is meant by test? So let me tell you. So before that, so just try to confirm in chat box once. So whether it was clear for all of you or not. Like plan, code, build, clear for all of you? Great. So after build, what we are having? We are having the test. Now, what is mean by test? Let me tell you. Let's say initially what we have created? We have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the Paytm application. In that Paytm application, we are having the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets we are having. Let's say once we have created our applications, so ultimately users can able to access it. Let's say one of our user is trying to access my Paytm application. Is trying to access our Paytm application. So that too is trying to access the bank transaction. That too is trying to access the bank transaction. So now he know, right, how much amount was there in his bank account. So ultimately he know how much amount was there in his bank account. Let's say initially he is having 10,000 rupees. How much was 10,000 rupees? But when he is trying to access our Paytm application, that to bank transactions, it is showing only 1,000 rupees. It is showing only 1,000 rupees. So this is going to be the bug, right? This is going to be the error, right? So this type of bugs, this type of errors has been resolved in the testing part. Has been resolved in the testing part. But who will do testing? Ultimately, we are having QA team, nothing but the quality and analysis team. So this team will do test here. So then next. So after test, what we are having, we are having the deploy. So as we can see, so we have done with the plan, code, build, as well as test. So from these 4 points, anybody has any doubts? That's great. So after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. We are having the deploy. Now, what is meant by deploy? What is meant by deploy? Let me tell you. Let's say deploy is nothing but whatever the 100%. So remember this number. Okay. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server. Placing those code over the server are nothing but deployment. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but deployment. So simply we are going to call deploy. Simply we are going to call it as deploy. So after deploy, what we are having? We are having the operate. What we are having here? We are having the operate. Now, what is meant by operate? Let's say this is my server. This is my server. So once I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, so ultimately users are going to access it. Let's say my server capacity was 100 members. So what was the server capacity here? Server capacity was 100 members. But users are trying to access my Paytm application from the server was about 100 plus members. Was about 100 plus members. So at certain point of time, my server is going to be down. Why? Because my server capacity was 100, but the user accessing my application from the server is about 100 plus members. So ultimately at certain point of time, my server is going to be down. So here making the availability of 24 by 7 my server as well as 24 by 7 my application are nothing but operate. Making the availability of 24 by 7 my server as well as 24 by 7 availability of my application are nothing but operate. So clear for all of you about the operate? Great. So after operate, what we are having here? We are having the monitor. What we are having here? We are having the monitor. Now, what is meant by monitor? What is meant by monitor? Let me tell you. Let's say this is my server. This is my server. So once I have deployed my application over the server, so ultimately users are trying to access it. So this is my server. In my server, I am having the Paytm application. So once I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, so ultimately users are going to access it. So once the users are trying to access my application from the server, so automatically the server's utilizations, nothing but the CPU as well as RAM is going to be increased. So once the CPU as well as RAM is increasing, again my server is going to be down. So here monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but the monitor. Monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but the monitor. Now, so totally we have done with the 7 steps. So we have done with the plan, we have done with the code, build as well as test. And also we have done with the deploy, operate as well as monitor. Now, anybody has any doubts over these 7 points? Anybody has any doubts from these 7 points? So just try to confirm in chat box once. That's great. Now, so let me ask you one question. Let's say development team has done their part. Development team has done their part and operational team has doing their job well. Operational team has doing their job well. Now, here my question was, where is the DevOps involvement? Where is the DevOps involved? Now, so let me tell you. So once I have deployed my application over the server, my application has been filled. Once I have deployed my application over the server, my application has been failed. So once your application has been failed in the server, there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. Once the application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. So now let me tell you what was the confusion here. What was the confusion here? So see, so once our application has been failed in the server, so the operational team will say to the development team, what they will say? Our application has been failed in the server. Application contains, our application contains bugs. Our application contains errors. So this type of reasons, operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100%, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. So I'm repeating again. So see, so once our application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. So what was the confusion here? So once our application has been failed in the server, so the operational team will say to the development team, what they will say? Whatever the, I mean to say, our application contains bugs. Our application contains bugs as well as errors. So these type of reasons operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. So to avoid this confusion, to break this confusion, we are having the DevOps team. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps team. So, as we can see here, in the DevOps, the first three represent dev, nothing but team. So so together called DevOps. Together called DevOps. So this team is going to involve in the both the team. So I'm repeating. So he's not going to write any code here. He's just try to, I mean to say, just involving the development team. So he can get to know that whether, I mean to say, where our application has been failed. In upcoming sessions, I will guide you. So how to cross check the application, like whether it is working or not. So if it is any bug we are having, so we can sort out that one. Next. So after this, what we are having here? We are having the DevOps life cycle. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps life cycle. So the DevOps logo represents one symbol. Any idea? The DevOps logo represents one symbol. Anybody has any idea? Infinity. So now, what is meant by infinity? So it's a loop, right? Never ending process. In a similar way, for the DevOps also, there is no ending process. It is going to be never end. So let me tell you why DevOps has never ending process. Let's say initially what I have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the like unlimited. Great. So initially what we have created the Paytm application. So in that Paytm application, what I have created the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. Now to create my Paytm application, what I have done the plan, code, build, as well as test. And also we have done deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So there will be another phase called release. So as of now, you can ignore this one. So in upcoming sessions, you will get to know that what is meant by release. So initially, just try to focus on the plan, code, build, test, and also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Let's say this is my Paytm application version 1. This is my Paytm application version 1. So to create my Paytm application version 1, what I have done? I have done the plan, code, build, as well as test. And also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Now, so see here, after 1 year or after 2 years, the Paytm owner has come up with a new idea. What he's saying means, my Paytm application is booming in the world. My Paytm application is booming in the world. I want to upgrade from version 1 to version 2. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to version 2. So when you are upgrading from old version to the new version, so ultimately you need to implement new features. Let's say this totally I am having 5 features. In the version 2 totally I am having 7 features. Old 5 plus 2 new features. 2 new features. So if you want to create two new features, again what I need to do here, I need to do the plan. So let's say two new features are nothing but the DTH as well as metro tickets. DTH as well as metro tickets. So this is my plan. So according to my plan, I need to write the code. We need to build it. We need to test it. We need to deploy it, operate as well as monitor we need to do. Again, I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to Paytm application version 3. So in the version 3, totally I am having 10 services. Old 7, 3 new. Again to create 3 new features, what I need to do here? I need to do the plan, code, build as well as test. Yes, monitor we need to do. So as we can see here, when the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. When the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. So that's the reason DevOps has never ending process. So not only for the Paytm application guys, as we are using the number of applications daily, we are using the phone pay, we are using the Google Pay, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, even chat GPT, DeepSeek, Copilot, all are the AIs, right? So these AIs are also handled by the DevOps team. Without DevOps, there is no even single application in the market. Single application in the market. So here we can get to know that importance of DevOps. So clear for all of you? Why DevOps has never ending process? Yes. So then next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the before DevOps. What we are having here? We are having the before DevOps. So actually DevOps was come in the year of 2009. In which year? 2009. But if you want to implement, I mean to say, if you want to create any software or if you want to create any application before 2009, what type of methodology they are going to use? Means they are going to use like waterfall methodology. What they are going to use? They are going to use like waterfall methodology. So as we are moving from the waterfall methodology to the DevOps model, DevOps model, so ultimately in the waterfall model, we are having some drawbacks. What we are having here? We are having the some drawbacks. So before going to the drawbacks, let me tell you with simple example. Let's say this is me. So I am at waterfalls. So let's say my initially my water was started at here. My water was started at here. So after some time, my water was at here. So here my question was, did my water will go up again? No, right? So ultimately, no. So in the similar way, this is the waterfall model workflow. Let's say if you have failed in the verification part, if you have failed in the verification part, you can't go back to the implementation phase. Or if you have failed in the designing part, so ultimately we can't go back to the previous step in the waterfall model. And also to come to the verification part, to come to the verification part, it has been taken 3 years of time. It has been taken 3 years of time. So totally we have wasted our time, right or not? And also for these 3 years of time, I need to provide the salaries for the developers. I need to provide the salaries for the developers. So ultimately we have loosened our money. So here time waste as well as money waste. So this was the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall mode. So whatever the drawbacks we are having in the waterfall model has been overcome in the Agile methodology. Has been overcome in the Agile methodology. Now, what is meant by Agile methodology? Let's say I am having the Paytm application. In that Paytm application, totally I am having 15 services. How many services I am having? 15. Let us try to split 5, 5 and 5. So dividing the larger application into the parts and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but the Agile methodology. Dividing the larger application into the parts and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but the Agile methodology. Here, what is meant by sprint? So sprint is nothing but a timeline. What was the sprint here? I mean to say what is meant by sprint here? Sprint is nothing but a timeline. Now again, what about the drawbacks? Let's say if you have failed in the test part, if you have failed in the test part, you can go back to the build phase. Or if you have failed in the build phase, you can go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can go back to the previous step. That would be possible in the Agile methodology. So once you are moving to the previous step, so ultimately we can save our time. We can save our money as well. So whatever the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model has been overcome in the Agile methodology. And also nowadays most of the projects are hosted in the Agile model itself. So if you want to implement the Agile, we need to learn the DevOps tools. So as I am a DevOps engineer, in my project also I am using the Agile model. So I mean to say there is no drawback. So like we can use that. Next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the DevOps system. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps system. So DevOps was oriented in the year of 2008. In which year? 2008. But what I have said? I have said 2009. So actually come in the year of 2009 only. So see here. Originally it was a discussion between two people. Who are they? Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Cliff. So what was the discussion means? What was the discussion means? Let's say this is my development team. So this is my operational team. So once our application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team, right? So what if avoid this confusion? What if break this confusion? That was the discussion happened between Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. Now, in the year of 2009, they held a summit at Belgium. So, what was the summit here? What if DevOps comes into the market? What if DevOps comes into the market? That was a summit happened at Belgium in the year of 2009. So, after this summit, DevOps has introduced. In the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. So, in that report, what it is saying means, so DevOps is booming in the world. So, it is going to be very high in the market. So, that was the report has been published in the year of 2014. Next, if DevOps had a birth certificate, if DevOps had a birth certificate, then the father would be Patrick DBS. So ultimately, he is the inventor of DevOps. He is the inventor of DevOps. So clear for all of you about the DevOps history? So just try to confirm in chat box once online. So clear, huh? Great. So then next. This what we are having. We are having the tools used in DevOps. So these like in SDLC process. SDLC. So first phase is about what plan. So remember for the plan we are not any tool. Basically we are not sorry for this. Now so for the planning purpose, we are not having any tool and we are not going to learn any tool. So after plan, what we are having? We are having the code. What we are having here? We are having the code. So at the end, who will write the code? So ultimately, we are having the development team. Okay, so after writing the code, we need to save that code. We need to save that code. We need to track that code. To save our code, to track our code, we are having the Git. What we are having here? We are having the Git. So we are going to learn Git as well as GitHub, and also we are going to learn the Azure repos. So for the coding purpose, we are going to learn Git, GitHub as well as Azure repos. Next, after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. So to build our code, we are having the Maven and also we are having the Gradle. But in our course, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Maven. Next, after build, what we are having? We are having the test. What we are having here? We are having the test. So at the end, who will do test? So ultimately, we are having the QA team, nothing but the quality and analysis team. So we are not going to learn any tool here. We are not going to learn any tool. Next. So after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. So to deploy our code, we are having the number of tools. So we are having the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Stack, as well as Ansible. But what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Docker as well as Ansible. We are going to learn Docker as well as Ansible. So after deploy, what we are having here? We are having the operate. So to operate our code, again, we are having these tools, but whatever the tool now I am saying, it was very important tool. And also it was most trending tool. Without this tool, he is not a DevOps engineer. So nothing but it's going to be Kubernetes. Okay, so to operate our code, we are going to learn the Kubernetes. So for the Docker as well as Kubernetes, we are going to spend a very lot of time. So whatever the knowledge I am having, entire knowledge I am going to deliver here. So we are going to learn very in depth in the Docker as well as Kubernetes. So after operate, what we are having? We are having the monitor. So to monitor our code, we are having the ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios. So basically these all are the old. So in our course, we are going to learn trending tool, nothing but the Prometheus as well as Grafana. What we are going to learn here? Prometheus as well as Grafana. We are going to learn. So to integrate my all the SDLC, to integrate my all the SDLC, so we are having an integration tool called Jenkins. What we are having here? We are having the Jenkins. So for the Jenkins alternate tools, we are having the Bamboo as well as Hudson. So nowadays, no one is using Bamboo as well as Hudson. All are using the Jenkins. So in our course, we are going to learn the Jenkins. So see here, if you are AWS DevOps engineer, you are going to deal with the Jenkins. You are going to deal with the Jenkins. Or if you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are going to deal with the Azure CI/CD pipelines. So basically, in the Jenkins also we are going to write the pipelines, but the naming convention are the difference here. So as we are learning AWS, DevOps, Azure, so we are going to learn Jenkins as well as Azure CI/CD pipelines. And also we are having some other tools as well like Terraform, SonarQube, Nexus, and also we are having the Tomcat. So there is no space, so that's the reason I haven't mentioned. And also we are going to learn the Linux. Without Linux, we can't learn the DevOps. So which was the base for the DevOps engineer. So as we are moving from the scratch, so first I am going to deal with the Linux. Later we are going to learn the cloud, and later we are going to learn the DevOps. So clear for all of you what type of tools we are having and what we are going to learn in our course. So just try to confirm me in chat box once. Yes. So guys, so that's it from mine for today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. So any alternative doubts like course content or career guidance. So any alternate doubts you can ask. So first of all, let me know. So clear for all of you about the session, or how was the session? So any alternative doubts as well as concerns.